Hello, my name is Anne, and I am really glad to see you here. This week's theme for the summer program at Onondaga County Public Libraries is magic. And so with permission from HarperCollins, I would like to start by reading Where the Wild Things Are. And this is written by Maurice Sendak. Where the wild things are. The night Max wore his wolf suit and made mischief of one kind. Doesn't that look like some fun mischief there? That might not be a good thing to do at home, though. And another. He's chasing the dog. He's got a fork in his hand. I wonder what he's going to do with that. What do you think? His mother called him Wild Thing. And Max said, I'll eat you up. And so he was sent to bed without eating anything. That very night, in Max's room, a forest grew. Look at those trees. Aren't they cool? Can you imagine a forest growing in your room? And grew even more trees. And grew until his ceiling hung with vines and the walls became the world all around. Look at that. And an ocean tumbled by with a private boat for Max, and he sailed off through night and day. And in and out of weeks, and almost over a year, to where the wild things are. That certainly looks like a wild thing there. And when he came to the place where the wild things are, they roared their terrible roars and gnashed their terrible teeth and rolled their terrible eyes and showed their terrible claws. That sounds really scary. Till Max said, "Be still," and tamed them with the magic trick of staring into all of their yellow eyes without blinking once. And they were frightened and called him the most wild thing of all, and made him king of all wild things. And now, cried Max, let the wild rumpus start. Look at that wild rumpus. Doesn't that look like fun? Ooh. And more wild rumpus swing from the trees, swing. And even more, with Max riding on the shoulders of one. Doesn't that look like fun? Do you ever ride on the shoulders of anybody? I did when I was little, and it was great. Now wild things off to bed without their supper. And Max, the king of all wild things, was lonely and wanted to be where someone loved him best of all. Then, all around, from far away across the world, he smelled good things to eat. So he gave up being king of where the wild things are. But the wild things cried, "Oh, please don't go. We'll eat you up. We love you so." And Max said, "No." The wild things roared their terrible roars and gnashed their terrible teeth and rolled their terrible eyes and showed their terrible claws. But Max stepped into his private boat and waved goodbye. And sailed back over a year, and in and out of weeks, and through a day. And into the night of his very own room, where he found his supper waiting for him. And it was still hot. The end. Wasn't that story great? What did you think when the trees started to grow in Max's bedroom? I thought that was really cool and interesting, and tried to think of what it was like for if trees grew in my room. My favorite part was when Max tamed the wild things and they made him king and crowned him. What was your favorite part? Hey parents, a great tip to help your child learn to read is to act out a book as you read it together. After you read it together, you can play characters in the story. You can act it out with toys that you have in the house. Great job, everyone.